So I think we all are aware that recently, was it yesterday, President William Ruto donated 20 million shillings and then pledged to add an additional 100 million shillings to Jesus Winter Ministry Church in Roysambu. And this has caused a lot of issues in Kenya, especially from the Gen Z, because just frankly, we don't understand why he would spend so much money on a church when there's so many things that are happening in Kenya and it's not able to solve. Because we've been told to tighten our belts because there's not enough money in the country to pay for everything. And then we see the president spending 120 million shillings on a church. And we're thinking, why is that? Because there's a lot of kids who are out of school because they can't afford to pay for school. People are going hungry. We already raising taxes on poor people to be able to pay for everything. So why are we raising taxes when the government apparently has so much money just set aside for political maneuvers like this? So I want to discuss the implications about all this. Okay, the first thing that we're having trouble with is public perception and criticism. Because how are you able to spend so much money on a church when you consider how many problems that we have as a country? The country is actually broke. We don't have enough money to pay for everything. I mean, there's a reason why they're saying that we're doing austerity measures. There's a reason why they're saying they need to raise taxes. Like the finance bill from last year in June when they tried to raise taxes is because they say we don't have enough money. So how come Ruto can come up with all this money out of the blue and say yeah, I'm going to spend $120 million on a freaking church? Is a church more important than other people, like the people being able to eat, get jobs? Is it more important than the people who are actually going to the hospital that can't pay their bills? I mean, you get like $1 million, million shilling hospital bill, and then SHA only pays what? 20,000 shillings? That's not enough. But apparently, this dude has 120 million shillings in his back pocket just ready to just dole it out to a freaking church. That's crazy. Another thing that we're saying is that there's a conflict between the church and state relationship, because we are supposed to have a separation of church and state. But when you have the sitting president going in to a church and basically bribing them to support him in the next election. I understand he's under a lot of pressure because, number one, Rigathi is basically told Ruto, you're not going to get anything in Central. Central is locked out from President Ruto, so he knows he can get nothing there, no votes there. And of course, if we have Raila running, he's definitely not going to get anything from Nyanza. He's not getting anything from Nyanza because, as we know, Nyanza always rolls with Raila no matter what. And now you're already seeing people from Western already turning away from Ruto because he's been so ineffective, so inept. They're turning away from him. And we got people from the coast. Okay, the coast usually goes with whatever Nyanza goes with. I don't know. Maybe it's because we had a lot of people from Nyanza who moved to the coast, but whatever Nyanza votes for, usually the coast goes with it. And then you're already seeing that Northeastern Province is already going away from Ruto. He can't control that. People don't want him because it's not because people hate him. They just hate the fact that he's not doing his job. And you see how desperate it's become that now he's actually trying to basically buy votes. When he's talking about he's going to try to register refugees as Kenyans and give them IDs and actually eventually get them to give them a voter ID so they can actually go ahead and vote because he's desperate. He knows he's messed up so bad. And the bad thing is this. He knows he's messed up. But he has 3 years left that he could actually turn things around. But he's unwilling to change. If he just decided like the next 2 years, I'm going to actually do my freaking job, just do what I'm supposed to do, he could actually turn things around. But he can't do it because he's just focused on stealing. That's his biggest problem. And then you have another problem we're saying, like we're talking about, he was trying to do a political message saying that I'm supporting the church so we can shame the enemies of the government. Like, what the hell is that? Do you think that people who don't support you don't love the church? Do you think people who don't support you are not Christians? It's not about Christianity. It's about you not doing your job. And I heard that they're talking about like so he donated so much money to the Jesus Winner Church apparently to build a big church, basically become a mega church. And it's we have a lot of problems with Black communities all over the world where people are just, the church is not good for Black people. The church basically exists to exploit us. And if you're spending 120 million shillings for a new church, you could spend the money on the people who actually need it. You have constituents who need help and you're not even doing anything for them. You're just spending that money on building a monument like a church. Who gives a fuck about a church? Seriously. And then you see, like Ruto is trying to politicize the donation, saying that, oh, well, you know what, we can make people feel ashamed for not supporting me. It's not about you. You can't politicize this. This is ridiculous. And the biggest thing is just talking about the economic situation of Kenya right now. We don't have anything. People are suffering. People are broke. People can't even afford to pay their bills. You know, it used to be that people only suffered like in January after spending a lot of money in December and Christmas and all that. But now that's been spread toward the entire year. People are suffering every freaking month. People can't afford to pay their bills, and the government doesn't even care. Ruto doesn't even care. He's just more focused on stealing. You know, you had presidents who were corrupt. Basically, every president we ever had since independence has been corrupt. But the difference is this: they stole, but at the same time, they at least tried to develop the country. They would actually do something. This is the first time we had a president who just steals and does nothing for the people. He just steals. That's the only thing he's trying to do, just steal. And that is a shame. We cannot allow this to go on for too long, man. I think giving this guy another 3 years is too much because we already on our knees in Kenya. We cannot allow this guy to go another 3 years. If there's a way to get this guy impeached and get out of there, I'm all for it because we cannot keep doing this. So we cannot keep donating to support the religious infrastructure when people are broke. Let's just be serious. Yeah, if you give your money to the church because they say they need money to do their operations, but when you need help and you go to the church, what do they say? I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. Like, I need help. I'm broke. Like, yeah, I'm going to put you in my prayers. So you're giving 120 million shillings to a church? It's not going to help anybody? That money is going straight into the pocket of all the religious folk, the leaders and all that. This is just ridiculous. It's a political move that is not accepted by anybody. Anyway, I just thought I'd get on here and rant. And guys, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be putting a lot more information on here. I'm going to make more videos, especially about Kenya and what's going on in the political scene. So I'll see you on the flip side.